Good morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always, told out of Voice of Radio. So today we need to look at a bunch of official reveals, official cards that have been gone and shown off from the upcoming Stellar Crown expansion. The other day, I showed you a few of these, including, for instance, the Squirtle, which told us we were getting the Bulbasaur as well, which is a very big deal. But now we've got a bunch of other cards we need to have a talk about. And let's start with one of our favourites, the lovely Joe Merrick. He of Cerebi.net went and shared Full Art Lacey. Also shared Celebi, and Celebi's terrible. Single energy, draw a card, single energy 30. No, mate, terrible. But the fact that Joe got to reveal a Cerebi card makes me very happy. But Full Art Lacey is a good card. What we've got here is a full art version of Lacey, and it's a shuffle draw 4, but if your opponent's got 3 or fewer prize cards remaining, you instead draw 8. Great card. And as I've told you before when talking about this card, there's a strong argument that if you're having an opponent with 3 prizes remaining, that maybe you should be playing something like Roxanne as a disruption supporter, for instance. But shuffle draw 8, there are going to be times that's going to win you the game. That's what Joe showed us. But don't worry, ladies and gentlemen, there's plenty more we can talk about as well. How about Area 0 Underdepths? This was shown off by the lovely folks over at Esports. Adam Newell, met him a bunch of times. Thoroughly lovely dude. Went and showed us Area 0 Underdepths. Now, the other day, I showed you the Terrapagos, which was actually also revealed by Adam. And essentially, Terrapagos does 30 damage for each of your bench Pokemon. Well, Area 0 Underdepths lets you have 8 bench Pokemon. I'm assuming you can already see where we're going with this. Being able to have lots of bench Pokemon to help out a Pokemon that does damage depending on the number of your bench Pokemon. Yeah, that sounds pretty gosh darn nice. Worth noting that in order to have 8 bench Pokemon, you do have to have a Terra Pokemon on the board. It does not have to be one of those new Stellar Terra Pokemon. That's an important distinction. Any Terra Pokemon will do, and I rather suspect that this is going to be a card that sees rather a lot of play. This one is very, very nice. Just putting that out there. Elsewhere, we got to see the special illustration rare of Hydreigon EX. This was shown off by ggrecon.com. Although we also got to see the Diplin and the Applin. But mostly it's the special illustration rare Hydreigon. As far as I'm aware, they didn't show the regular Hydreigon, just the special illustration rare. But that's okay. And I actually legit love this card. I think this is a very cool card because we've got an ability. Once during your turn, you may attach a basic grass from your hand to one of your Pokemon. And if you did, heal 30 damage from that Pokemon. And you know what? I think that's really good. We've also then got 2 energy, 30 damage plus 30 more for each grass energy attached to all of your Pokemon. Nice. Because also, worth pointing out, Teal Mask Ogerpon. Teal Mask Ogerpon seems to be like a slam dunk at this point for a deck like this. Because each Teal Mask Ogerpon, once during your turn, lets you attach an energy to it and then draw a card. So you've got a draw engine, that's a good thing. And then you're also being able to get more energy on the board. And Hydreigon does damage depending on how much energy you've got on the board, while also getting extra energy onto the board. I'm just saying, this seems cool. But I cannot talk about Hydreigon without telling you that actually there is a way better Diplin. Because if you've got the Stadium card Festival Grounds in play, Diplin gets to attack twice. And it does 20 for each of your bench Pokemon, so, fill your own bench and then do 100 damage, but do it twice. So if you're against Pokemon, support Pokemon, evolving Pokemon, whatever, that have 100 or less HP, oh look, you get to take 2 KOs in one, constantly. This is very, very good. I am a very big fan of this. Plus, we've got a Thwacky here that lets you search for any card if your active Pokemon's got the Festival Lead ability once per turn. And if multiple Thwacky will then allow you to have multiple uses of this ability. And then you add Hydrapple on top. I'm not saying it's going to work, but I absolutely am saying I'm going to try it because I think this looks like an awful lot of fun. Shout out to GG Recon for showing us those cards. Now, Eurogamer, Carvander Malin specifically, has gone and shown us a couple of cards, including Full Art Brier. We like Full Art Brier. Full Art Brier is a good card in a couple of ways. Firstly, it's a lovely full art. This makes us very happy. Secondly, very playable card. Because it's a supporter card that you can only play if your opponent's got exactly 2 prizes remaining. Now, obviously, that's super awkward. Your opponent having to have exactly 2 prizes remaining means it's not going to work all of the time. But your Terra Pokemon take an extra prize this turn if they get a KO with damage. Oh, yeah, that's pretty good. And before, when I've told you about this card, I have told you Charizard. Because I think this is just an absolute slam dunk to be great with Charizard. Because Charizard doesn't mind going down a few prizes. Charizard's attack does an extra 30 damage for each prize card your opponent's taken. So if they've got 2 prizes remaining, they've taken 4 prizes. Charizard's hitting 300 damage. Briar lets you take an extra prize, and oh look. Look how that worked out. The other reason I really like this with something like Charizard is because you don't want to play like 4 copies of Briar. Briar is a great card when your opponent's got 2 prizes remaining. What you really want to do is pay one of them and just be able to search it out at the perfect time. Charizard decks are going to be playing Pidgeot. Pidgeot will help you search this out. Oh, look. That seems to work very nicely indeed now, didn't it? Love Briar, love the full art, and I think a lot of other people are going to as well. While we're here, it is worth pointing out they revealed Jirachi as well. Jirachi is not such a good card. 2 energy, 30 damage, oh my no. Single energy, attach a basic energy from your discard pile to one of your bench Pokemon. There was a time back in the day where you could use attacks like this to accelerate a bunch of energy and then get rolling. Those days are gone, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, look, the artwork's lovely, and I know Jirachi's a popular Pokemon that's got a lot of fans. For those reasons, yay, this is cool. But I'm going to be perfectly honest with you from a playability standpoint. If we're looking at what impact this might have on the metagame, the answer is none. This will have none impact. Sorry. Never mind, eh? One that is a little bit similar that will have a lot of impact, though, is the Joltik, which was shown off by gry.interior.pl. This is a good card. Firstly, beautiful illustration rare, yay. Secondly, legit super playable card. Because what we've got here is single colorless energy, search your deck for up to 2 basic grass and 2 basic lightning, and attach them to your Pokemon in any way that you like. Now this we can use. Jirachi, you're getting 1 energy and it's got to be in the discard anyway, but you attach an energy to Jirachi to accelerate an energy, and then if Jirachi gets KO'd, you've gained nothing. You've attached an energy, you've got 1 energy on the board. Here, you attach an energy, accelerate 4 energy, and even when Joltik gets KO'd, and let's face it, it's got 30 HP at will, even when Joltik gets KO'd, you've got +3 energy on the board. Well, that is a very different thing entirely now, isn't it? I love this. This makes me super duper happy. And yeah, it's going to get KO'd, but this is wonderful, wonderful bait for Unfair Stamp. Unfair Stamp, if your opponent took a prize last turn, you can make them shuffle a hand into their deck and draw 2 cards. Well, you get a new hand of 6. Unfair Stamp it's unfair. And the way you get around Unfair Stamp is just not taking a KO until you're ready. Wait until such a time as you know that you can survive an Unfair Stamp, and then go and take a prize. Well, brilliant. If you're doing that, you're just giving Joltik turn after turn to essentially get rolling here, and that's brilliant. So yeah, you get to accelerate a bunch of energy and then unfair stamp your opponent. That just sounds good, honestly. And that's one of the reasons I love it. If anyone plays Gym Leader Challenge, this card is absolutely nuts in Gym Leader Challenge. But even outside of Gym Leader Challenge, I see this seeing play. I honestly think this is going to see a bunch of play, because the idea that I can accelerate 4 energy, and then if it gets KO'd, I've got ways to take advantage of that. I'm sorry, that just sounds like an awful lot of fun. Another really fun illustration rare which went and got revealed was the Zeraora, which was shown off by UAGNA.IT, and they actually showed off both versions of the Zeraora, both the regular and the illustration rare. And actually, I got to tell you, both the artworks here are pretty cool, so I love that we get to see them both. This makes me happy. Now, it is in Italian, but basically it does 20 damage base, plus 20 for each of your opponent's benched Pokemon. This is really nice. Potentially 120 if your opponent's got a full bench. And actually, if we combine this with the Area 0 Underdepths I showed you earlier, that could actually get you up to 180, because 8 bench Pokemon times 20 is 160, plus the 20 base is 180. That's a lot. And yeah, this is a cool card. Love the artwork, but 2 energy is a nice low energy cost. Basic Pokemon means it's going to be quite easy to get this into play. And I think we could be looking at a really nice either early game aggro card for Lightning decks, or alternatively look, it's the middle of the game and they've got a Pokemon I'm not wasting any EX on, in comes Zeraora kind of card. And I think both of those actually work really rather nicely. And I think that'll do for today. I've shown you a bunch of new cards. I said I would, and I did. I feel proud of myself. But now it's over to you guys. Tell me which of these cards you're excited about. Tell me which of these you're going to be popping into your decks. Tell me anything you want to tell me in the comment section. Go nuts! Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at @TheWasi. That's where we talk about Pokemon and a whole bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all kinds of fun things. And get shoutouts on the channel, like the lovely AB3, who I believe at this point is our longest running supporter, at least on the Patreon, and is a very lovely person. So shout out to them for the support and the loveliness. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.